do you hear me? With Uniqo Williams. That's right, it's your boy coming at you with another one on a Thursday, as I always love to do. Why? Because Thursday's my favorite day of the week. Oh, why? Because I was born on a Thursday, 11:47 a.m. Woo! I can't even get my intro going in. How are y'all doing this week? How are you doing? It's been a very chill week. Lay Alpha and I got a lot of work done. Check out some of those videos that we did this week. We had a great time. Check out the podcast on Overall 99 ENT on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere that you can listen to a podcast. We on there. So listen, go back and listen to it. Also, we have the videos on YouTube, so don't forget about that. We got videos of each recording we've done. I mean, man, we've been having a blast this week because we have not had to talk about all that extra stuff that we've been having to deal with for the past year since the pandemic happened, and just all the protesting and all that, just everything that's going on. You know, again, we talk about it all the time. Everything that's going on. So with that being said, yeah, we do got to get back to it. We do have to, still talk about some of the things that are important, and that's what I'm here to do. So we're going to do that. Again, our eyes are set back on the state of Georgia. Now, remember last week we talked about Ahmaud Arbery and how the people that were involved in his situation, he was running in the suburban rural area of Georgia and was chased down by three men who took the law into their own hands, and he was abruptly murdered. They upgraded his crime to a hate crime at the federal level, so there it is. They knew they had to do that because why? Well, we know down there in Georgia and a lot of those southern places, they have those little small tiny towns and stuff, and they all friends and they all grew up, and his dad was a cop, and there's no way they do that and they kind of protect each other. No, the feds are on top of that. Who films this? Like, stop filming everything, because keep on filming everything even when you're doing wrong, because that's the only reason they got caught, is because that right there, they were filming. He filmed them chasing this guy down and him getting shot. They filmed it. And that's how he eventually got caught. They eventually got caught because just think, what if they built their own narrative? Like, they killed him, no footage around whatsoever. They kill him, and they come up with some kind of cockamamie story about how they was chasing him out of the neighborhood, this, that, and the third. So there you have it. You know how they get down, especially in them sundown towns, if you will, in them honky tonk places. You know how they do. So luckily somebody was filming it, but it was one of the perpetrators, so they got themselves caught up. So again, we applaud that. Dope, awesome. Now let's move on to the other side of Georgia. So as you remember, last summer, Rayshard Brooks chilling in a Wendy's parking lot, might have been faded, but he was parked, chilling, sleep. Police come and investigate. You know what's on their mind. Not doing the right thing, not trying to, de-escalate the situation, looking for those big bucks, trying to put somebody in jail, trying to do what they do. You know how they do. They're not here to protect and serve at this point. I know there's some good cops. Don't get me out here. Don't get me the line, and don't get the line on me. I believe there are good cops, but right now, until you prove yourselves differently, this is what I believe about y'all. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to approach this, okay? So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk candidly from the way that I perceive it. In Wendy's, sleep, one thing on their mind, lock his ass up. So what happens? They approached him. He was like, "Hey man, my sister down the street, can she just come pick me up? Mind you, the car's parked. Can y'all just come? Just let somebody come pick me up. I come get my car in the morning. I just left my kid's birthday party, man. I'm just not, No. They want to go through all the little extra stuff that's going on and try and get him locked up and all that, and put him on the road to having due process. Put him on the road for due process. Put him on the road to go to jail, have his day in court, and take whatever punishment for this and go on about their business. Giving him due process. That's all that they had on their mind. They try to handcuff him, opposed to doing the civil servant thing to do, which would be All right, can we okay, you wasn't driving. You was parked. So let's let you call somebody, or you said she lives a couple of blocks away. Okay, let me drop you off down there. And if you could get caught driving this car tonight, you going to jail. If you get caught driving this car tonight, you're going to jail. That kind of community policing. The kind of community policing that, in a sense, a lot of the light skinned cops, if you will, they tend to do in their own communities. But when it's us, they tend to police a little bit differently. So it's not like the old days. It's not like that. Back when you was a kid, you do some dumb stuff. The cop will put you in the car and take you to your mama, and your mama handle the rest of that. Go ahead and lay into you, give you a few of them licks. No, 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 no. It's due process. It's due process. They want you to go to jail and have your day in court and take your punishment. No, 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 no. They try to handcuff him. They put him in cuffs. He grabbed one of their tasers and he fired it, in a sense, but I don't think it went off. But whatever it was, it didn't affect him. So he's running away. He's running away, which I get it. You probably shouldn't do that. I get it. You shouldn't. That is breaking the law in itself. And you can have your day in court for fleeing or evading the police. Absolutely, 100%. But they decided to unholster their gun and shoot him in the back. And when I say they, I am talking about, what is this boy's name? Garrett Rolfe. Now, we only state murderers' names on this show one time, and that's the only time you get. But shot him in the back, killed him. He died instead from running away from the police. Probably a little inebriated because obviously he was drunk. But, ran away from the police and, tried to get away. And they shot him and killed him because they shoot to kill, apparently. Here we are, a year later. Comes out this past Monday that the whatever board handles public servants and what they do, they decided that, after Garrett, because Garrett was released the next day. Mind you, we're in the middle of all these protests and stuff. Like, the whole country is heated. So Atlanta just took the best route that they could, which was fire him, man. You can't use excessive force, especially in this sense. You can't do it. So fired him. He is facing felony charges for, murder and all that kind of stuff, or whatever. Then even that is cloudy. I'm not even sure if he's still facing charges. I think that it's not looking good for the facing charges thing. But that being said, he got his job back. He got his job back this past Monday. The people that judge people that are public servants, the people that see if they deemed anything the processes and protect their rights and all that stuff, they said that they didn't follow due process. They didn't do any kind of investigations or anything like that. Usually it's about a 10-day review and all that. No, they fired him the next day. And his complaint is that he didn't get due process. Poor guy lost his job, and they weren't being fair to him because there's a technicality in there. He got his job back because it's just not fair because they didn't give him due process. Boo effing who? Where was the due process of law when Rayshard Brooks was sitting in his car, asleep, getting out, allegedly drunk, getting out, having a cordial conversation with the police saying, can we just do this? Can we just do this? Can we de-escalate? Can we just do this? No, he didn't get a due process of law. He did not get arrested. Even if he had ran away and gotten away, you put a warrant out for his arrest, you arrest his ass, and then after that, you put him in jail and you let him go through due process. But instead, he didn't get due process of law because, you got an hour. You had a day, a little over a day to keep your job. You had a little bit over a day to keep your job. And wait for some people to call you and say, you know what? We got to fire you. You had some time. And you had time to make it up to this place, to this space that we're in right now, for us to hear that you got your job back because they didn't follow due process. But listen here. You didn't follow due process when it came to that man's life. You didn't follow that. You tried to handcuff him. He ran away. You felt less than good. You felt less than good. And then you turned into a murderer. You shot the man in the back. Where's the due process? Not that you didn't shoot him to put him down because you know he was unarmed. You didn't just shoot him to put him down. You didn't do that. I tell you what you did do, though. You shot him and you killed him. No day in court. No true arrest. No true investigation. I don't even think they gave him manifest breathalyzer. If they did, forgive me, whatever. The fact is they killed the man. He was murdered. Allegedly. Let me say that before y'all start getting on me about that. Allegedly killed the man. He was murdered at a Wendy's parking lot of all places. Not that there's anything significant about a Wendy's parking lot. It's the fact that there's nothing significant about a Wendy's parking lot. Who wants to say that's where I took my final L at, a Wendy's parking lot? Gunned down by police. You got your Dylan Roofs of the world. You go get them a Whopper. You take them through the drive-thru at Burger King. You go in there and get him a Whopper. Matter of fact, you take him through there and let him flirt with a girl one more good time in the drive-thru. You let him do that. You let him do all these different things. You let that punk in Minnesota walk around. What's his name? Punk. Yeah, that's right. You let him walk around with a rifle. You ran around before he even did that, hyping him up, talking about thank you guys for being out here. Remember the police? Thanks so much for being out here. You want a water? Oh God. Disgusting. Due process of law. That's what you said. You said due process. You didn't get a fair shake and you fired me. And that's not fair because you didn't dot your I's and cross your T's. But you're allowed to hold court in your head and decide that it's time to murder this man. Not shoot him in the leg or anything. Just shoot him. One too many drinks? Get out of here. You're dead. The foolishness. Due process of law, my ass. So there you have it. This is the post-Trump era. Because, you know, they revealed themselves over the past 4 years. The supremacists. Man, I get it. It's cool. Whatever. Be a supremacist. I don't care. You've been it this whole time. You were just thinking it. Then you started acting on it. Then we got to know who you really were. Then we figured out who you really were. Now y'all trying to take it back. Remember, we built this country with all men are created equal. But the man that you had in your head, he didn't look like you. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Well, some people you didn't put in the same category as men. Some people you didn't consider men. Some people you didn't consider humans. What was that? You know, they had the nerve to come up with a 3/5 of a man thing. Like each black person is 3/5 of represent. That is the country that we are, that did the foundation of our country, quote unquote, bless their heart. They had the right ideal. It's just that it didn't pertain to everybody. It pertained to all the people in that room. It didn't pertain to everybody. It only pertained to everybody. And I believe that this is an opportunity for the people, especially Georgia. Georgia is just being ornery. Make it harder for them to vote and blatant about it. Make it harder for them to vote and be blatant about it. Shoot black men. And I believe that's why the feds had to jump in on that case, because if they let them handle that at the local level, Ahmaud Arbery would not be getting any type of, no, we don't want that good old boys. I've been knowing your dad, and you know that you've been going to the same gas station for years, getting penny candies. No, the feds had to step into this so that real law and justice can take place, because that bullshit that y'all doing down there in Mississippi and Alabama and all them southern states, that ain't gonna fly at the federal level. Y'all do all that backwoods court shit. Nah, that shit ain't gonna fly. Trying to come back with that whole, yeah, we did it, so what? Trying to come back at that, and that's we talked about. There will be rebellious groups and sections that will just try and, what do I want to say here? Try and assert the dominance, the supremacy that it is to be, in white supremacy. They're going to be there, and they're going to try and assert their dominance whenever they can. And at that local level in Georgia, I believe that Ahmaud Arbery might get hit with some kind of bullshit trespass. They might still try and put that man on the stand. Man ain't took a breath since last summer. And they might still have him sitting up there defending himself about some kind of crime he did. The man didn't do anything but jog. So, friends, family, be careful. Because they showing out right now more than ever. And it's going to be a backlash. I'm telling you, when people don't get their way, when a child don't get their way, they tend to lash out at you. I'm trying to tell you. I remember my grandparents, all my friends got to go to all the sleepovers and everything growing up. They got to do all that. They ain't let me. They said, shoot, we paying for this house. You need to stay under this roof. We pay for this. This is, matter of fact, it's paid for. You ought to be here. I got mad and I lashed out and I went through that window and I stayed up the street. I'm glad I did. But I'm very appreciative of what they did. I'm very appreciative of their mindset behind that. But when you want to do wrong, you'll find a way. When you want to do wrong, you'll find a way. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget, every Thursday, the full podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. Overall 99 ENT bring you videos from Friday all the way to Friday. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. I holla.